champions have arrived. So many of you guys, I'm going to stand up and do it. We're joined now by student athletes from Kansas National Championship basketball players Christian Brown, DeJuan Harris, Jalen Wilson, Remy Martin, Ochai Agbaji, David McCormick, and Mitch Lightfoot. The trophy is here as well, and we'll get Coach Self as soon as he's ready. We're going to start with questions for the student athletes. Let's go up front on the right side.
Shea Wildeboard, JayhawksLand.com. For any couple of you guys, down 15 at the half, what was the message? And for you guys, what was the key to the second half to remain patient and kind of chip away at that lead?
We'll ask Ochai to take that and Mitch.
I would say, it kind of took us back to when we were at K-State. The message, was obviously different. Coach he obviously challenged us, and he was amped up in there. But it was just a matter of us playing our game and executing in the second half and taking away what they were getting at in the first half.
Mitch.
I would say, I said this a couple days ago in media, with a group of guys as experienced as this and that have been around and know each other so well, it's kind of hard to see us get rattled. And I think we bounced back at halftime. Coach had a great message for us, and he challenged us to be better and to have more pride, and we did that.
Next question is going to be for Matt from the Lawrence Journal-World.
Matt Tate, Lawrence Journal-World. I'm just curious what sparked that in the second half. Coach said you really got after him there, and I wonder if there was something specific, and also if you saw how it affected North Carolina.
It was DeJuan. DeJuan, he sparked that in the second half. Coach said it in the locker room right there. Just his defensive pressure kind of just rubbed off on everyone else. And then that's where we got that momentum from on the defensive end, and everything else, fell in place on the offense.
DeJuan, what does that make you feel like when you hear that?
Really, I just wanted to go. I didn't want to lose. This is my last. When I came to college, with them besides Remy. So I just wanted to give it my all for them. That's all it was.
On the right side of the room, Mike, we're going to use that front right microphone.
Yeah, this is for David. What does it feel like for you to score the last two baskets of a championship game after all the things you've been through in your career, the criticism, the injuries that you've had to fight through? Can you sort of capsulize what that means to you?
It's just it was a big play, and it shows how much trust Coach and my teammates have in me. Coach called the play and said that we're going to throw it inside, and we have trust in you and faith in you for you to deliver and get us a basket. And I really, I just prevailed, and I made the basket happen. I just appreciate them for allowing me to have that opportunity.
On that, on the first of those two, when you got the offensive rebound, and both Armando and Brady were on you, you didn't hesitate to go back up. You had 4 open teammates at that point, but you went right back up. Can you talk about why you were able to finish that play?
Game's on the line. You got adrenaline pumping. If you got a desire, you're going to go get it. I snatched a rebound with 2 hands. The coach talks about just keeping the ball high and going right back up. And that's the only thing that was going through my mind. I'm right here. We work on touch shots every day. I'm able to use both hands when I get a quick basket and get back on defense.
Coach, let's ask you to give us a statement here, and then we'll get back into some questions. Is the trophy angle okay on the camera? There we go.
Sorry.
Hate to have you guys part with that so soon. But go ahead, Coach.
I think we're probably all a little overwhelmed and spent, and I don't know that I've ever had a team flip the script like we have probably in the NCAA tournament, whether it be Miami in the Elite Eight or whether it be this game. But be special to win regardless. But to win when your team had to fight and come back the way they did and show that much grit makes this one off the charts. I thought this would be good, and this is a heck of a lot better than I thought it would be.
We're going to take another question up front on the left. Zach.
Yeah, Zach Boyer from the Lawrence Journal-World. Christian, I'm wondering for you, you had the assignment on Love there in the last 4 seconds, and he's taking that 3. What's going through your mind at that point? How do you defend him, and what do you see now when he misses the rim?
Yeah, we were switching everything, and I switched on to him. We were trying to make him, obviously take it 2. And then it was just me and him one-on-one. I thought I got a pretty good hand up, and it looked short, from when he shot it. When I turned around, it was short. So, when it came off, it felt good.
Back right of the room, Zach.
Zach Brazil, New York Post. David said out there at halftime he was smiling. It was kind of like, just do what we do. But that kind of guys were looking at him weird that he was, despite the deficit, he was encouraged. What did you guys think of kind of his reaction to where you guys were at that point?
Zach, you want to direct that to
Any of the guys?
Go ahead.
Ochai, you want to respond?
What?
I was gonna say, go ahead. See, I
I
look directly
for
at
sure
Stevie.
wasn't. Yeah. It was me, definitely. He was looking at me, and I'm like, why are you smiling, dude? Like, we're down 15. And he's telling me, like, man, like, keep your head up. Like, keep going. We'll be all right. We've been here before. And I'm like, man, I don't know if I ever been here before. Down 15 in the national championship game, I definitely never been there. So, man, but we're just proud of him. And, he kept us going and then obviously hit a really big shot.
On the right side toward the front, Jeff.
Jeff Borzello, ESPN. Bill, after the Miami comeback, you said your halftime speech was mostly, I told them we need to play better. Did you just kind of run that inspiration back today at halftime, or what did you say?
There wasn't much inspiration. I did tell them before the half was over, I said, which would be harder, being down 9 with 2 minutes left or being down 15 with 20? And they all said being down 9 with 2 minutes left. I said, so we can do this, and because that's the way it was in 08. So. We got, what did we get, 3 or 4 stops in a row to start the half, and 15 went to 9 like that, and it was anybody's game. So it was pretty special how one triggered that start the second half.
Third row on the left side.
Coach, Sam Lance with 24/7 Sports. You said you've talked to your dad more in the past couple months than you have, whenever he was alive. Did he say anything to you during or after this one?
Well, when I said that, I talked to my dad a lot when he was alive, but not as much as he wanted me to. It was the thing about the way, and so many parents that are my age, grew up with families that lived through the Depression and the Dust Bowl and everything else, and so he always felt that nothing was ever given; everything had to be earned, and so I think he would be very proud of this team because he knows without question they earned what happened tonight.
And you wanted to follow up, so let's keep that mic on.
I also wanted to ask you about Ochai really fast. Is he the most accomplished player that you've ever coached, and maybe in Kansas basketball history?
No, he's not in Kansas basketball history. I can't say that. I think Danny was pretty good too, but he's second. He's the most accomplished player that we have had at our university since Danny. I mean, to think that 4 years, win the national championship, win the league, win the Big 12 tournament, win the NCAA tournament, to be a most outstanding player. We've never had anybody. We may have had some guys that had comparable years, but never had anybody cap it off like what he has other than D.
Up front, center, USA Today.
Hey, Bill. Scott Gleason with USA Today. You'd said earlier, that one's not enough as far as championships go. I was hoping you could put into perspective what this means for a program, that demands and really craves championships.
Well, these don't fall off trees. I mean, they're hard to get, and so, the first one we got, and it was great and everything, and we've knocked on the door since then, but haven't been able to punch the ticket, so to speak. So I think when there's an all-time winningest program, when just by a slim margin though, and when the inventor of the game was your first coach, and when the likes of Adolph Rupp comes from Kansas, and Dean Smith comes from Kansas, and Wilt Chamberlain comes from Kansas, the expectations are such where being good is okay, but it's not enough. And so nobody's ever put pressure on me, we got to win another one. But I think I put pressure on myself knowing that this place deserves more than what we've won.
About 6 rows back on the right side. Lane, right in front of you. There we go.
Hey there. Obviously, Kansas has had some famous miracles in the past with, Mario's miracle and also Danny and the Miracles. And, obviously, there wasn't really one player tonight that stood out and, got it done for the team. And Coach Self, I was wondering if you could sorry.
I'm sorry. I thought you what was that again? I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. So Kansas has had a fair amount of miracle teams with Danny and the Miracles and Mario's Miracle. And, I don't know if any one player gets the name after it for this game, but I'm wondering if you could talk about how that's maybe different than, previous Kansas teams have been, and that this was such a balanced attack.
When Rio, he made the shot, and it was Mario's Miracle, and, it's stuck. But Jarrell Arthur was actually the best player in that game, but Mario gets all the credit, which he deserves for making the shot. I think all 7 of these guys would be totally content after being around them all year long that this is a 2022 miracle. I think they'll enjoy it more not having a name attached to it, because that's how we played all year long.
Up front in the center.
Hey, this is for Coach and a couple of players. Does this championship kind of fill the void from 2020? I know, during the week we talked about not being able to play with that team because of COVID, but does this kind of fill a little bit of that void that you all didn't get a chance to, kind of do it? And then secondly, for the players, are y'all ready to run it back again?
Well, you need to ask a new group of players. Most of these guys will be gone next year. But with the 2020, I think in 2020 we would have sold out on winning one whenever it was before 22. So I don't know that this, to me, Devon was here tonight. Doak couldn't be here. Marcus couldn't be here, and Isaiah couldn't be here. But to me, this was partially one for them too. I don't know how you guys feel. It's partially one for them. So because I always thought the 2020 team was better, more equipped to do well in the NCAA tournament. After the way these kids have played the last month, I think this team can play with any team that Kansas has ever put on the floor.
Up front to the right, Kansas City.
Gary Bedore, Bill just said a lot of nice things about you. You also were MVP of this whole thing. What's your reaction to being MVP of the tournament or the Final Four, and what about what Coach said about Danny and you and all that?
He talked to me about it, obviously, on the podium here, there just then, and then in the podium when we were in Chicago. But I wouldn't say, winning the most outstanding player of this, I don't really care because we won the national championship. But if I really had a most outstanding player throughout the whole entire, Final Four, it'd be David. He's been my guy. We got here, at the same time. And, these goals and these dreams, that we're living right now, we never would have thought of it, when we first set foot on campus. But now living it and, living it with him and leaving here with history in our name, it just means so much to the both of us, and obviously Mitch and all the guys here. So,
on the right side, just to the left of the aisle, right where you're at.
Sean Paul at the field of 68. Mitch, you played 6 years of college basketball with Kansas. Can you describe your feelings now that it's over, your college career is done? How are you feeling that you ended it with a national title?
Wow. What a way to go out. I'm so happy for these guys, so happy for Coach, so happy for Kansas, our fans. It just means the world to them. And as far as 6 years of college, I figure you stay around long enough and you're bound to get one. So no, I was super blessed to be a part of this group. Just getting to see these guys work day in and day out means the world to me. I was glad we were able to get one.
In the back toward the right side.
Remy, this is for you. Two-part question. First of all, can you talk about your journey coming here and playing with these guys, and then tonight's performance by you in the second half? You hit 3 big threes, big defensive play as well too, and what propelled you to just be able to come in there, take those shots with confidence?
Yeah, this year has been, a tough year individually for me. Just injuries and just, hard to find a groove sometimes. But, it felt great, man. These guys have been amazing throughout the whole process. They've always, kept me going, and they always, gave me confidence. And I couldn't ask for a better group. And the second half, I just came in there, try to, make something happen, and shot the shots with confidence, and just try to make plays. DeJuan, did a great job, and the team did a great job of, getting that lead back. And I just didn't want the deficit to change. I wanted to, keep going and extend that lead. And I'm happy that we did that.
Back of the room on the right side.
Steve Hall, Global Basketball. This question is for David McCormick. After trailing by 15 points, what was the turning point that you knew you had a chance to win?
Honestly, I didn't see it as a turning point. Like I said before, I was in the locker room just telling the guys, like, just believe in yourself. Like, have fun with it. It's our last game regardless. If you do what you need to do, because that's how we got here in the first place. Don't doubt yourself. And then we came out second half. Juan dictated the game on defense, and everybody else just followed suit. I mean, he's a floor general. He can lock up anybody in the court, and he just came out with great energy, and we followed the same way.
They were talking about you. They said nice things.
Thank you.
Love you, Juan.
Up front to the left. This will be our last question. Any additional requests have to go through Chris Tyson. National Championship SID, Chris Tyson.
Deshaun Tate from the three-point conversion. Congratulations to you guys, first of all. This question is for Coach. This obviously puts you in a different echelon, a different conversation in terms of coaches that are active and those that are not, that have won multiple national championships. How much going into this game was that on your mind, and just your overall thoughts on winning your second?
That wasn't on my mind, but I do feel that as many good teams as we've had over time, that we could have had more than one. So even though, like I said earlier, I never felt pressure from anybody that we had to do this, but I knew with what we've had that we could have very easily done more. So I actually think it means a lot to me. And this year, I don't know how these guys feel about me, but I've never felt more connected to a group than I have this year. And when you go through stuff, and when individuals go through stuff, everybody deals with crap. But I never said a word to these guys about anything I was going through, but they rose their own level to a level that propped me up. And so this is what makes coaching the best, because players can learn from coaches, but certainly coaches can learn from players.
We want to thank and congratulate DeJuan and Christian and Mitch and Jalen and Coach Self, Ochai and David and Remy. Thank you guys for joining us here all week. Congratulations.